guys, it's Melissa. Happy Thursday. I am so excited to be here today to tell you about something we haven't done in almost a year. We are giving away 3 memberships to Silhouette U, our premium site with content and one-on-one help and live Q&As and everything else. So we are giving away a year membership, a 6-month membership, and a 1-month membership. And all you have to do is enter to win. So the only entry that is required is to put your email in there. That gets you 1 entry. And then we have a couple others, I don't know, 3 or 4, that you can gain extra entries into the giveaway for extra chances to win. So you can do as many or as few as you want. And that's that. Now, the benefits of Silhouette U include exclusive video content. I add 6 new videos every month to our Silhouette U video library, which are now over 400 videos. So all our members get access to that. I offer one-on-one chat help twice a week. Yep, you can chat me and I'll be there. I just had it this morning. I had to wait until right now because I had chat open over the last hour, and you get a $12.99 coupon every single month to Sofonsi, and we do live Q&As where you ask questions and I give you the answers live. And so that's what we're gonna do today, to give you guys a little taste of what it means to be a member of Silhouette U. So you can go ahead and enter now. The giveaway is gonna be open for the next couple of days. And then you can also feel free to put your questions in the comments and I will answer live. So I have my computer right here and I'm going to be looking at the comments to answer. Okay, so hopefully I can do this here. So I have a couple of you saying hello, hi, Val, hi, Jen, hello, Deidre, Jen is in Florida, hello. So if you have questions that you want answered, this is a great time to do it. And this is what we do we do this a couple times a month over on Silhouette U in our member-only Facebook group, okay? So what our members are asking are all different types of things. Anything from, I'm brand new, I have no idea where to start, to what is the best video for me to watch to learn how to do multicolor heat transfer vinyl, to what is your business advice on how to start a Tumbler business, to how to change a page size for wide format printing in Silhouette Studio. Lots of different questions, and we have that designated time every 2 weeks that we all hop on together. It's not a Zoom, so you don't have to come presentable. It's a Facebook Live in our Silhouette U members group, and our members are able to submit questions ahead of time, and they can also bring their questions live. So there's a lot of helloing, but I know you guys have questions because I've seen my email inbox and it's always full. So feel free to throw your questions up there. I know you have questions. I get questions on everything. Okay, Jen is asking, every time I go back into a save file, the file is turned sideways. Help. That sounds like it's probably a default setting that is possibly even a bug. But if you go into page setup and change the orientation, you should be able to fix that pretty quickly. It's probably annoying, I'm sure. Kim is saying Roland BN20. I do love my Roland BN20A. I have it hands down, definitely worth it if you have a small business. If you are a hobby crafter, then it's not going to be worth it for you right out of the gate because it's just the price point is too high. But the ability to be able to print and cut in one machine and be able to make your own printable heat transfer, printable vinyl decals, everything all in one, it is very much worth it. The learning curve is pretty low, and I have blog posts and tutorials and videos on YouTube for that as well. So I love my BN20. Yes, I do. Okay, oh gosh, how's this gonna work? Now I'm gonna miss comments. Oh no. I might need Bob to come up here and bring me his phone so I can look at the comments on his phone. How do I make multicolor bumper stickers for a high school team? So yes, if you're wanting to make multicolor vinyl decals, which is I think what you're asking, you are going to want to do layering. So my suggestion is not to layer more than 3 colors max. Oh look, see, I say that and he comes You have it all set, thank you. So my suggestion is not to layer more than 3 colors. It's first of all way too time consuming from cutting to layering, but you're gonna need to use layering registration marks. So, and I have blog posts on how to do all of that. Okay, and then we have, who else is that? Oh no, this is doing it too. How do I make a multi-color? Why do my rollers leave an indentation on my vinyl, both Cameo too? They have always done this. Well, the rollers do need to have some pressure just to keep everything in position, so that could be part of it. They should come out though, it shouldn't be an issue. But if you use a cutting mat, the rollers will be on the margin of the mat, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, if you're cutting without a mat, I can see how that would be a problem. Just make sure that the roller is as far to the outside as you can. Okay, how do I get a JPEG to cut? Crystal is asking. The way that you get a JPEG to cut is you import it into Silhouette Studio and then you use the trace tool. That is what's called vectorizing. So if you use the trace tool on the right-hand side of Silhouette Studio, it looks like a little butterfly or a piece of toast or something. You trace over it and then you'll get that yellow shading, and you want to adjust the threshold to so that you get yellow to fill your entire design, and then you're going to push trace, and that's going to create those red cut lines. Then that has created basically a cut file. If you need to refill it with color, you can do that. If you literally just want to print and cut the actual JPEG and you're just trying to remove the background, you can click trace and detach. But the key for cutting a JPEG is going to be tracing. Okay, and then I have let's see. I am jealous of all of your machines. Yes, you guys, I have to tell you, I just got a machine that I've never had in my craft room before. A lady in my neighborhood was getting rid of her Cricut, and so I was like, I'm gonna take that just for competitive intelligence. So I have that now. I need ideas for using the carriage too for the Cameo 4. I have all the blades, but I don't know what to make. Okay, so the thing that I use in the second tool carriage of the Cameo 4 the most is the Rotary Blade. I love the Rotary Blade. It allows you to cut felt, and you can use it for fabrics and anything that like is kind of sensitive to cutting with a blade. So even some papers, like really thin types of papers, you can cut, like I want to say tissue paper if you wanted to cut something like that. But I use the tool carriage too for the Rotary Blade mostly. Of course, you can put the craft blades in there as well, but those are more challenging to cut with. What is the best standalone mug press? So the only mug, well actually that's not true. I have multiple mug presses. I have the Cricut mug press, which I find limiting because it's so short, and if you want to do a tumbler or something, you have to do it upside down, and you can't do different sizes. My 8-in-1 heat press, I know you're asking for a standalone. There's a 4-in-1 that's basically the 4-in-1 part of the 8-in-1, which I really like. It comes with a whole bunch of different attachments, 4 different attachments obviously, and you can do a huge number of different types of size and diameter mugs, tumblers. The other day I even did wine tumblers, you know, that have that odd shape. If you use the latte shape, you can do those. So Swing Design sells that. I have that on I have a link on the blog. I also have a Trans Pro mug press. I don't think I have the 4-in-1. I think I might, maybe I do. But that one also, it's a little bit of a higher price point, but it really kind of depends what you're looking for. Okay, if you're just joining, welcome. We are doing live Q&A today, just like I do on Silhouette U. If you're interested in Silhouette U, you find this helpful, of course, there's a lot of other benefits to Silhouette U as well. You might want to enter the giveaway that we're doing, a 12-month, 6-month, and 1-month giveaway or membership we're giving away. So let me keep going here. I'm interested in a printer to make transfers. What is the best recommendation? Oh boy, should I get on my soapbox? I have so many printers. Should we take a tour here? Let's take a quick tour. So, oh gosh, I need to go take you the other way. Hang on. Okay, so what you can see over here, this is a direct to garment printer. So depending on what you're interested in, you literally put your shirt, your bag, your towel, whatever, directly into that printer and it prints directly on it. So that's option one. Limitation, the biggest limitation to the direct to garment printer is you can't print on dark. Okay, on this one anyway. This is a Roland BT12. It's a great small footprint at home DTG printer. Okay, so that's really great. Very small learning curve. And then I'm gonna let me take you the other way here. Oopsie. And then this, oh gosh, where am I going here? Oh, that's my regular office. It's all back, everything is backwards. Okay, then you have Sublimation. These are a couple of my Sublimation printers. These are 8.5 by 11 Sublimation printers. This one can go up to like 40 inches. This one can go up to 14 inches. Max width though, 8.5. This is a wide format Epson Sublimation printer. These Epsons are not converted. They are true die sublimation. This one's 24 inches. This whole sheet here was printed, you know, this long way. I can't put it there because I have the phone in my hand, but and then I've got a white toner printer. That's another option. This printer literally prints, it just prints the transfer right out. But the biggest benefit of the white toner is, you guessed it, it prints white. And then you probably have seen, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, way in that little corner there in my other part of my office, is where my Roland my Roland BN20 is. That is an eco-solvent printer that prints on heat transfer vinyl. It prints on adhesive vinyl. And if you're wanting to print and cut, that's another option. So I have a whole, I know this is a long-winded answer and it didn't even probably give you the full answer that you're looking for, but I have lots of blog posts on Silhouette School blog about various printers, and you can kind of like, what am I exactly looking for? Do I need to print white? Do I need something that has no hand? Do I need print and cut together? Do I need, you know, what size? Like all these things. What's my budget? What's my space availability? So if you go onto Silhouette School blog under the printers, you'll have you'll be able to see all my different printers. I have lots of comparisons between all the various printers. Woo! All right, Dolores. Hopefully that helped you. Why is it when I open some files in Silhouette, they open huge and I have to shrink it down? Yeah, so that is a very odd thing that happens, and it just started happening like maybe a couple months back. If you drag and drop a PNG into your Silhouette Studio, depending on the version of Silhouette Studio, and if you have auto trace on, which is a setting in the preferences, it opens gigantic. If you turn auto trace off, the gigantic opening doesn't happen anymore. So the auto trace feature is in that little gear on the bottom right hand side. You click preferences, and then in there you just uncheck the box for auto trace. Okay. Oh boy, where'd we go? Oh gosh, if I'm missing your question, just repost it because there's a lot here. I'm trying a neon color printing through Silhouette Studio. Is that even possible? A lot of that has to do with the ink that you're using on whatever printer you have. So if you have neon ink, you might be able to do it. It is one of those things where I'm not 100% sure. And again, it's going to depend on not only the printer, but the print manager that you're working with. How do I get a PNG from Sofonsi to Silhouette? So you're going to download the PNG, which will come in a zip file from Sofonsi. You're going to unzip, and then you're going to go to Silhouette Studio and you're going to do File Open. And then you're just going to navigate to that PNG and it will open. If you want it directly into your library in Silhouette Studio, you're going to go to File, Import to Library, and it'll put it right in your library and won't open directly in a workspace. Okay, I am having a problem with print and cut. I've done everything possible. It looks like it's off when it tries to read the mark. I have done stickers and stuff, but even on white, it still doesn't cut. So usually this has to do with how it's printing. So sometimes make sure you only have one piece of printer paper or sticker paper in your printer. If your printer has too much paper, it takes too long for the printer to grab the paper sometimes, and then what happens is the registration marks print too high. That's typically one issue. This can also happen if you have glossy or like some kind of like glossy, usually paper. The other thing that might be happening is that you have designs too close to your registration marks. Finally, if it's reading the top left registration mark but not the bottom left, usually that's because that bottom left registration mark has been moved out of the safe print area, and instead of the full print thing, little registration mark printing, it only prints like this because the bottom part is out of the area. You see, like how I'm doing that? I am trying to sublimate a neon color. I'm printing through Silhouette Studio. Is that possible? Again, I think this was the same person who asked the previous question. It goes back to the type of ink that you're using. Michelle, I am having trouble weeding in my Silhouette Studio. Is there a cut depth setting in the setup? Yes. If you are in Roland VersaWorks, and Michelle, I can help you with this after we get off of here, because I'm gonna have to go look at VersaWorks on my PC, because it's only PC. But there is an adjustment in there for the amount of force, and you will have to adjust that depending on. I did a print and cut on glitter heat transfer vinyl, and I did a full color, and because the glitter HTV is a little bit thicker, I did have to adjust it. So I can tell you that there's there. Yes, I've kind of gone to the. No, you guys are asking if Silhouette U stopped or Silhouette School because I got a Cricut. No, don't be silly. I have all kinds of machines in here. And I have other Cricut things like Cricut heat presses, or not heat, the mug press, the easy press. I just said some lady in my neighborhood was getting rid of her Cricut and I needed it for competitive intelligence. And so I was like, I'll take that. And so I had Bob put it up on the top shelf, not even on this top shelf, on another top shelf, okay? I haven't even used it yet, but it's nice to have in case someone comes at me and tries to say, this is why Cricut's better, I can be like, oh, really? Well, let me check that out and tell you how you're wrong. Okay. Will you ever do DTF printing? Yep, maybe. Yep. Best blade for corrugated paper. You may be able to try that with the craft blade. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of depends on like how deep it's corrugated, but that's going to be a tough one either way. Rotary blade also may be an option for you, okay? In the trace panel, what does threshold, despeckle, high pass, and scale mean, and their differences? Well, that'll take us until next year. So I'm just going to defer you, Tiffany, and tell you that threshold is the one that I highly suggest that you focus on. Threshold is what is going to give you that nice yellow shading. Too much threshold and you're going to get yellow shading outside of your design. Not enough and you won't get a full trace. Scale is the second one that I kind of focus on, and that has to do with like the edge of the line. So if you are getting your trace line or that yellow shading is kind of like pixelated, that's where you want to adjust the scale. What is the difference between convert to path and compound path? Convert to path is typically used for text. So if you have text that you're typing out, and let's say you need to export that file or something, and you need it to go into another software program. Well, your system is not, the new system is not going to recognize that font if you don't have it downloaded in there. So when you convert to path, I just keep in mind a path is the edge of a shape. So what you're doing, you basically have fonts and paths. So if you convert a font, convert it to path, you're making it into a shape and it's basically frozen. That's why you no longer are able to change the font type or the font style or the size by adjusting, okay? So that's convert to path. Oh no, I lost you. Okay, where'd it go? Oh no, who's asking? Compound path has to do with shapes and compounding shapes from two or more than two into one. So what I want you to think about is if you have two circles in Silhouette Studio sitting together so you have a round circle and a round circle, of course you do, and then you have a circle in the middle of it. Right now, when they're transparent, it's difficult to see the difference, which is why I always encourage you to use the fill tools, even if you don't end up needing them for printing, is a good visual. So let's say that background, that the larger outside font or circle is black, and then the one on top, the smaller one, is red. You can see they are not compounded. They're two different images, like two pancakes sitting on top of each other. If you select them both, right click and do make compound path, they become a donut. So at the place where the path is, that intersecting path, they are compounded, and now they are one donut or one frame of a circle. So that's the difference. That's what a compound path is. All right, it has to do with how objects are filled, how they are related to each other. They become, you know, two sitting on top of each other or two interlocked. Okay, that makes sense. Can you cut craft foam on the Cameo 4? You can, and I have. I actually used, I think I've used my craft blade for that in the right carriage. Yeah, I have a couple blog posts on that as well, so you definitely can. Lucy, I lost my job and was unable to renew my membership, but I have loved following you. I am hoping to be able to get your membership again in the near future. Lucy, I hope you can join us again. Why don't you fill out that entry for the giveaway, and hopefully we can, you know, you can gain yourself some entries to try to win. Michelle, do you print something every day on the F170? I haven't been, and I think the heads got clogged. I haven't, and if you excuse me for just 1 second, I'm gonna grab a piece of paper because I had the exact same thing happen to me. So I don't talk a whole lot about my F170. I talk more about my F570 and Sawgrass SG. However, the other day I just needed a quick, it's actually when I was doing that Facebook Live the other day with those wine tumblers, if you saw that. This is fine, but what I had was I had a whole sheet, excuse me again, I'm sorry, I left the piece over here that I wanted to show you. I had a whole bunch of transfers, sublimation transfers printing, and they were super dull. Now you guys know, if you're familiar with sublimation, that it's not uncommon for sublimation transfers to be dull. However, what I noticed was none of them were printing any color, magenta was not printing. So actually ran a print test, and what I found, this here in the middle is supposed to be magenta. So I had to actually do a maintenance, and as soon as I did that, now you can see that the magenta is printing. So yes, to answer your question, Michelle, I did experience that, and this, I've only printed 51 total pages on the F170, so not a lot. So I do keep it plugged in, and it doesn't cycle like the SG does, or some of my other printers, but if it gets clogged, just run a maintenance, print cleaning, and it'll resolve it. And then, as you can see, I was able to print the rest just fine, and they came out, okay? All right. How do I get print and cut to work correctly? It prints weird and I can never cut it. Well, yeah, I could run a whole website on how to fix print and cut. I have lots of tutorials on this, and if you can provide some additional information, I'd be happy to help you. I would also, Michelle, encourage you. I did a whole series at the beginning of the year on beginner vinyl heat transfer and print and cut, and I would highly encourage you to go through the print and cut beginner tutorial from start to finish. I even provided the file so that you would not have any spots and the file includes the registration marks. So I did everything for you to eliminate as many pitfalls as possible. If you go on the Silhouette School blog and click New Start here, you'll find it under there. Okay, Tammy is asking, when cutting HTV, is it better to do one pass or two? Thank you for answering my question. I only do one pass typically on HTV, but I increase the force from the default up to 14, and then it not usually any type of an issue. Jen, can you post a link to a video in regards to subtracting taken away words inside a design? Did I make sense? Yes, I have multiple videos and blog posts on that, and I will post a link for you. Oh, someone's helping me out here. I think it's Ashley. Thank you. Posting some links to some of the questions here. Where is the entry? There's an entry at the very top or to the side, depending on where you're watching, computer, your phone. And when the video is done, you'll be able to see it. I'm also going to send out an email here shortly that will have the link to enter the giveaway, so you'll be able to do that. Okay. Is it possible to convert rhinestone SVG circles into rhinestone mock-ups in Silhouette Studio. So this is a really interesting question because not a lot of people talk about rhinestones. I have a blog post on Silhouette School blog about how to use, how to make rhinestone mock-ups. The key is you need Designer Edition Plus for that because it gives you the little rhinestone instead of the circle. Now, the question is, are you going to be able to convert an SVG into that? A direct conversion may be possible. Check out that blog post. If you go on Silhouette School and type in rhinestone mock-up, you'll find it. I think that will help you. Can you achieve compound path with intersect or subtract? Yeah, usually there are more than one way to get to the same result. For example, in Silhouette Studio, and a lot of it has to do with the workflow that you like, your process, but did you know, for example, you type out script font, you type out a word that's script, like this, for example. Did you know you can right click and weld that, or you can go to the send panel and click cut edge, and it will basically be auto weld without welding, or you can increase the line weight and tell it to cut the edge of the line. And so there are multiple ways to get to the same result, and sometimes there's benefits to one or the other. The benefit of doing those option 2 or 3 that I just explained on fonts that are script, if you weld, then you can't change the font style after that because you've turned it into a path. However, if you do option 2 or 3, which is with the line weight or cut edge, you keep the font characteristics of it instead of turning it into a path. So the point is that typically there's more than one way to achieve the same result. It just kind of depends, you know, how you like to work on what other issues or, you know, things you're trying to work with in your design. Can you post a link on how to do yes, okay. Do you think Silhouette will install a scanner, or is PicScan Matte all we are going to get? Yeah, that I'm not sure about, but I think that right now you better just rely on PicScan to tell you the truth. Okay, more questions. How can you convert SVGs? How can you convert SVG3 file to SVG? I'm not sure what an SVG3 is. I think you might be talking about a Silhouette Studio 3 file type. And if that is the case, if you have purchased Silhouette files from the Silhouette America website, Silhouette Design Store, you are not going to be able to export as an SVG. They do give you the option to purchase the SVG with your purchase, but you're not going to be able to export as in any format. Now, that being said, if you do your own original design in Silhouette Studio and create an SVG, if you create your own Silhouette Studio file in Silhouette Studio, then you can export as an SVG. You need Business Edition to do that, okay? So in order to export as an SVG, JPEG, PNG, PDF, you need Business Edition, okay? All right, did I miss any other questions? I used Caesar glitter vinyl and made a rhinestone effect for my shirt and it came out beautifully. Yes, there's lots of different ways. Okay. Did I miss your question? If I missed your question, feel free to repost it and I will try to get to it. Let me just make sure. Puff, this is just HTV. This is just, I did multiple colors of HTV. I did a Facebook Live on this probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks ago. If you guys want to go back into the video section on Silhouette School's Facebook, you'll be able to find it there. What pattern is the Choose Happy? Oh gosh, a lot of you are asking. I'll post the link as soon as I'm done. Will this record? Yes, and you can go back and re-watch. Can I use HTV on a tumbler? You can. It's not really ideal. I mean, heat transfer vinyl is an option, honestly, but it's not the best option. I think that adhesive is an option, and I mean, honestly, the best option for tumblers, if you can sublimate, is going to be sublimation. You can also do printable vinyl, which I've done before, and like if you wanted to do a full wrap, you could do that as well. Is it best to use a PNG or an SVG? And the answer to that is it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. Are you cutting? Are you printing? What are you cutting on? What are you printing on? What's the material? What's the machine? I mean, that's a kind of a impossible question to answer without, you know, some additional information. What is the difference? Okay, we got all them. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Doesn't look like I did, except maybe down here. I want to learn how to do sublimation. What is the best printer to purchase? So I have 3 sublimation printers, and again, the answer is it depends. It depends on the space you have available. It depends on what you want to sublimate. It depends on your budget. It depends on, are you a small business, a home crafter trying to get into small business? If you go on to Silhouette School and click, actually now I have a sublimation menu. I just added that last week to try to make it a little bit easier for those of you getting into sublimation. But if you go up there, you'll see comparisons. You can also, I also under printers will have information on sublimation as well. So there's a printer menu that has sublimation information, and then there's a sublimation menu as well that's broken out. I think most of the information is about the same, but I have comparisons. The biggest difference, like the Epson F570, 24-inch sublimation, true dye sublimation, not converted. The ink is much less expensive than a Sawgrass. You can also use it on both a Mac and a PC, which you can actually do for Sawgrass as well. However, with Sawgrass, while the DPI is higher, dots per inch resolution is higher on a Sawgrass, just slightly, you cannot print directly from a Mac. If you're on a Mac, you can't print directly from Silhouette Studios through the Sawgrass Print Manager. You can print on a Mac through Epson's Print Manager directly. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference there. So a couple things, but your big differences are gonna be your budget, your long-term expenses, because I'm talking about if you need to replace the ink in your Sawgrass, you're looking at about $300 per, and that they're like 32 cc cartridges. On the other hand, the Epson, it's about $25 or $99 for the set of 4, and it's $140. Okay, so there's a big price difference. That's honestly the biggest difference. And aside from the size of the printer, if an SG 500 is 8.5 by 11, it can print up to 14 inches. And then you have the SG 1000, which is a wider format, doesn't take up as much space as the Epson 570. So you've got, you know, you kind of have to like look at that comparison chart, like, well, where am I kind of, what's the most important thing here to me? Do you have a video on how to make water slide? Yes. What is the heat press? This heat press back here is an 8-in-1. So this is a 15 by 15 swing away heat press. Comes, it's flat, obviously, you can use, you know, for shirts, but also the 8-in-1 part is, it has a 4-in-1 mug press, tumblers, latte, you know, whatever attachments with it, and then also comes with a hat press, and then also a plate press. So that's what that is. That's from Swing Design. If you go on Silhouette School blog, you'll see, again, heat presses, and it has, I have information on all of the different heat presses I have. What is the best printer HTV to use? So, you know, if you're talking about inkjet heat transfer, we have, you have StarCraft has an option, Silhouette has an option, there's Jet Pro has an option. I think Online Labels for a while was carrying printable heat transfer. There's, what is that other brand that I've used? Gosh, there's a couple different ones, but they're all on the blog. So the difference, I don't think there's a huge difference in inkjet printable, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, what are you looking for? Let's see. Answer a few more questions here. Do you have a discount code on your new Pro World heat press? Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code. This is not the Pro World press. Those of you who are asking about the Pro World Press, I will send a link to that as well. Thank you. It looks like Ashley posted the link for you. That was a 16 by 20 auto open with a pull out drawer. Love that heat press. It has a pretty big footprint. And it has, the price is about $1,000. But if you're a small business, if you have trouble, you know, opening and closing, if you have the space, 16 by 20 is a great size heat press, especially for multiple things that you're pressing at the same time, or large format. Especially, I get a lot of questions from people who are like, I have to press, you know, down a sleeve or a extra large chest. And those designs sometimes don't always fit on a 15 by 15 for a single press. Someone's asking how much is the heat press that I have. Well, I have multiple heat presses, but if you're referring to this 8-in-1, this is $4.99 or I think it's $4.79. Do you have a video on how to correctly print a picture from Google? Well, we're not going to talk about that right now because we don't want to steal people's stuff off of Google. But I can tell you how to print a picture that you took on your phone, or that you designed, or that your kiddo colored and then you brought into Silhouette Studio. I can tell you that. Okay, so lots of questions. Thank you guys so much for joining. Bob is like getting ready to want his phone back here. Here you go. Want to say hi? Wait, show me your shirt. Somebody who was asking about, oh, hi, you're cut off. So see this shirt? So this is, this looks like printable heat transfer vinyl. It is, except that we printed it on the Roland BM20. So if you guys aren't Philadelphia 76ers fans, you probably won't understand this, but this is my boy, Maxie. Tyrese Maxey. This is my boyfriend. My real boyfriend, but anyway, that is an example. This has been through the wash multiple times, totally fine. That is a cotton sweatshirt, so we couldn't do sublimation. Here's the funny thing. When we were ordering the sweatshirts, they said they were polyester, which is why I ordered them. And then they came and they were cotton. And so we had a couple of options, one of which was not sublimation. So I just printed them, and we went to the Sixers game a couple weeks ago, and we all wore them. Well, I made one for Blake, and he lost it before we even went to the game. Anyway, kids, okay? All right, you guys, make sure you enter the giveaway for Silhouette U. If you are interested at all in Silhouette U, I would encourage you to at least enter the giveaway. Give us a try. Silhouette U has been around for 5 years now, and we have never deleted a video. All our members have access to all of the video content that's there. You have access to all of the live Q&As that we do, the one-on-one chats. If you need help, you just chat me during the office hours and I will help you. You can ask the ladies who chatted me this morning. They're all squared away and set to go now. And then we have a private inbox that we, quick turnaround, fast, quick turnaround. You want to the point videos? You got it. You like the Silhouette School Facebook Lives? I know you do. However, it's impossible, nearly impossible to do software videos. Silhouette U, we do software videos. Everything's pre-recorded, so we can edit, we can post, do some post-production type stuff. So, and then even if you join for the 1-month membership, which is $12.99, every person gets a $12.99 coupon to Sofonsi every month. So it pays for your membership and you get fonts and designs, okay? All right, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Good luck on entering our giveaway. See you soon.